Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I first want to start out by saying I'm sorry I did not have any videos up last week. That's not happened in a really long time on my channel, and if you follow me on my other social media platforms, you'll kind of know that the past couple weeks have been a little rough for me from something I've been advocating for in my city, and I've tried to film this video twice already, and it's just become rambly and long, and you know, I don't want people to complain and be like, you talk too much. But I do feel like I want to give you an explanation as to what I've been doing, because it is an important thing to bring awareness to. So this is going to be a very short and brief synopsis. I mean, and I'm leaving out tons and tons and tons of details. But if you are interested in this story, I will have a link to a post that I made on Facebook about it, which has been shared hundreds of times at this point. And I would appreciate, it is going to be on my personal Facebook page. I have received close to 500 friend requests just from this post being shared so much. If you send me a friend request and I don't accept it, please do not take offense to that. I'm only trying to add people who are involved in rescues that can help my case out a little bit. So long story short, this is going to be very brief what I have been doing. Going on 2 weeks ago, a neglected and well, I wouldn't say abandoned, somebody had to be keeping this animal alive, but a neglected and abused pit bull showed up at my house, and he was severely emaciated. He was covered in hundreds of fleas. He more than likely had mange. He looked awful. He did not even look like a dog. And I actually had to carry him back to my house because he had walked up the road a little bit by the time I went outside to get him. I carried him back to my house because he was so weak from not having any nourishment in his body. So I fed him, gave him some food. And long story short, I did have to end up taking him to our shelter. I called a private rescue, which would not take him because he was a pit bull. And another rescue I tried to contact, but they didn't have an immediate care line. And this dog needed immediate attention, in which I feel like I could not provide. I had no clue where to start with him. So I took him to our shelter after I was assured he would not be euthanized or given back to his original owner. The volunteers were great. You know, they said we're going to take care of him, and I, you know, was reassured he would not be given back to the people who had done this to him. Long story short, I go back to check on him 4 days later, and in this 4-day period, I had actually already called once to check on him, and they said he was doing fine. So I go to actually go in and check on him, and I had planned on playing with him that day and, you know, giving him some love. And I only go in to find out he had been given back to his owner. This is kind of where I could not accept that. I could not accept that a place in our community who is supposed to, you know, be a safe place for animals. It's supposed to be a safe place where you can take animals. I couldn't accept that, and just the attitude and the vibe surrounding the whole scenario was not one of compassion. It was not one that I felt anybody even cared about. So throughout these past couple weeks, I have been calling city officials. I actually spoke before a city council member last week over this whole scenario. And where we're at right now is within the next couple days, I'm supposed to receive official documentation as to where the dog was placed, who he was given back to, and we are also going to try to figure out a way to where welfare checks can at least be made if he, you know, if he does appear to be in better condition and it does appear that people are still taking care of him. I was told that possibly we could do welfare checks. So that's where we're at right now, and this has just been, I commend anyone who advocates for things, and I can only imagine if you are a lifelong advocator for a cause that could take years to accomplish, because I haven't done my hair makeup. This is like the first time I've put on makeup within the past couple weeks, and I have gotten no sleep from this. It's just been a very, very important case and a very important cause for me to take initiative to try to solve and to try to make this a better thing to where it can't happen again. So yeah, I really haven't cared about anything else other than figuring out where this dog has went to, and I will not stop until I do. And after that, we will kind of proceed and go from there after we see what kind of condition he's in, if he was even released to these people. It's just been a very bizarre thing. I'm leaving out several details, several things that have been manipulated, several things that have been done to try to cover this up, several lies that have been told, just so nobody has to take responsibility for what they have done. So that is where I'm at. I'm going to leave it at that. If you do want to read the full story, I will have my Facebook post down below. Just remember, it is my personal page. If you add me, I'm just going to go ahead and say I'm not adding anybody else on my personal page because I have received way too many requests from this, and it's kind of, I don't know, just a little overwhelming. Alright, so that is pretty much as short as I could make that, even though that was probably a 5-minute ramble at least. But we're going to go ahead and get into favorites. We're going to start out on a lighter note now. I do want to mention that I got a new camera. I don't know if you guys can tell. I was using my Rebel T3i, Canon Rebel T3i. I had it for like going on 4 years probably, and it was just in terms of video quality, it was kind of not up to par for me. So I did upgrade to a Canon 80D, and that is what I'm currently filming on. So let me know what you guys think about the quality. Obviously this is just a favorites video, so you're not going to be able to see detail that well. But just wanted to throw that out there. So let's go ahead and get started into favorites. I have a ton of skincare favorites. I'm just going to throw that out there. I did not wear a ton of makeup this month because basically the half of the month I didn't care what I looked like. I was just worried about other things. And so I have a lot of skincare items to talk about. The first one is by It Cosmetics, and it is the Bye Bye Lines Serum. So this is a kind of like, it feels more like a cream, not really a serum, that you put on your face morning and night. And it's supposed to get rid of the appearance of fine lines, wrinkles, all of that stuff that nobody wants on their skin. So I've mentioned this a few times, but I do have really big forehead lines. You may not be able to see them right now, but anytime I squint or move my eyes up, they're very noticeable. They're very noticeable either way, just the camera doesn't pick them up. And I get comments all the time on my videos that are like, why do you have such big forehead lines? I don't know. Why is the sky blue? Why is it hot outside in the summertime? It just is. I feel like I just kind of referenced Joe Dirt a little bit. But anyways, I'm always looking for something that can help to smooth out my lines or just at least decrease the appearance of them. And this is something that I really do believe has been helping. I don't know if it's just me, if I'm just trying to talk myself into thinking that my forehead lines are softer or less noticeable, but I do feel like when I've filmed tutorials this past month, they just haven't been as apparent. So if you have tried this, if you have used it, let me know your thoughts. Is it just me, or do you feel like this really has been working? I don't know. I just feel like it has really helped the cause with, you know, kind of making my lines a little bit more subtle. It also makes your face feel really soft too. If anything, if it doesn't do anything, at least it makes my face feel soft. Dermalogica sent me a few of their products at the beginning of the month, and I'm actually very familiar with the brand because I did work at a bareMinerals spa line, and we had a licensed esthetician in there who actually used Dermalogica in her facial room. So I had used a few of their products in the past, and they actually asked me to take a skin quiz to kind of analyze what skin type I had, and I just up front let them know, look, I've got dry skin, chronic dryness, it is dry year round. So they sent me this box that was curated for, you know, dry skin. It had products that were for either dry or very dry skin types. And the first product that I have really been enjoying is the Intensive Moisture Balance Moisturizer. So this is kind of just like daily moisturizer. I've actually been using this at night, and it's funny because it's not a very thick moisturizer. Most of the time I like a thicker consistency, and this isn't, but I still feel like it is very hydrating. It locks in moisture into my skin. My face does not feel dry when I wake up in the morning, and I've been using it in conjunction with another product, which I'm going to talk about in just a second. But yeah, I have really been liking this, and it says that it has vitamin C and antioxidant enzyme in it to help shield against damage caused by environmental assaults. So yeah, this has kind of been my nighttime moisturizer, but I have also been using it alongside of the Dermalogica Phyto Replenish Oil. This is very reminiscent to me of the Kiehl's Midnight Recovery Concentrate, which I used last year a lot and I really liked it. This smells almost the same and feels pretty much identical on my skin. I use this after I wash my face and I put my Bye Bye Serum on my skin. Next I'll go in with my Phyto Replenish Oil. So this says it's a feather-light treatment oil that reinforces the skin's protective barrier. So all of these products that I'm using are supposed to protect the moisture barrier in the skin, or at least protect the top layer of your skin, which I really do like. So these two products at nighttime have been giving me great hydration. The final Dermalogica product I've been using is the Antioxidant Hydra Mist, and this again is just a face mist that is supposed to protect your skin's barrier from any free radicals, anything that could harm your skin. And I've really been liking this as a makeup setting spray because I don't believe it contains alcohol to my knowledge, and I've been trying to avoid setting mists that do have alcohol in them since my skin is very dry and sensitive. So this has been a really nice addition to my makeup routine. And also just I've sometimes been spraying this after I have applied all of these products. I'll go in and mist this all over my face just because it feels good. My last two skincare products are by Clinique. The first one is something I talked about in last month's favorites, I believe, but I want to mention it again because it is so good, and it's the Clinique Moisture Surge Extended Thirst Relief Gel Cream. Normally I don't like gel moisturizers. I don't feel like they hydrate my skin enough. This is totally the opposite. I use this as my prep moisturizer before I put on makeup, and in some cases it just makes my face feel so soft. I don't even have to put primer on. So I've kind of been using this as a 2-in-1 product. I have really been loving it. It just makes my face feel so soft and moisturized, hydrated, just like it is ready to go for makeup. So this is something that I would definitely suggest checking out if you do have more of the normal dry skin types. Now, if you are a little bit more on the normal combination oily side, I've also been using something that is great for that. I've been using it for a different reason, but it is the Pepstart Hydro Blur Moisturizer by Clinique. So this is a really neat product. It's again a 2-in-1 product. It's got this cool whipped consistency to it, and it is basically a primer and a moisturizer in one. So it's got that nice kind of blurring effect to it with that whipped consistency, but it also moisturizes your skin at the same time. So this I do believe is tailored more so to the combination oily skin types, just because it is mattifying once you've placed it on your skin. But the way I've been using it is I'll use it where my forehead lines are, where I want to kind of blur out those areas, and then on my cheeks. I don't get dry on my forehead or my cheeks, so it's okay for me to apply a mattifying product there. My problem area for dryness is around underneath my nose, because I have allergies year round. I'm constantly blowing my nose, so I'm always dry around here, my chin, and around my mouth. Just always the driest areas on my face. So as long as I, avoid applying it to those areas, I'm fine. Okay, so I finally want to get into some makeup products. The first product is a new powder from Mercier, and it is called the Candle Glow Sheer Perfecting Powder. So I saw this on the website during the VIB Rouge sale, and I skipped on it because there wasn't many reviews up on it yet, and I just didn't know really what it was yet. I hadn't seen it in person, so I wasn't gonna just make the plunge and get it. When I actually did go into Sephora and see what it looked like, it was very reminiscent to me of the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Setting Powders, right? Yeah. Ambient lighting setting powders. So these look very similar. They feel very similar to the ambient setting powders, but something about this formula to me was a little bit more luminous, I guess you could say. A little bit, when I use the ambient setting powders, I just feel like they're chalky on my skin. I don't know why, but I had the color Dim Light, I always felt like it was really chalky. So I picked up, I think there's 4 or 5 shades in the Candle Glow powder, and I picked up the lightest one, which is number 1, and I do want to warn you, these do run a little dark. They look dark in the pan, but since it's a very sheer powder, it doesn't actually turn your skin that color. So I would suggest if you are in the fair to light range, go with number 1. If you're in the light to medium range, go with number 2. And then tan, deep dark, on and up, you know, there's I think 2 more shades that you can pick from. So I have really been enjoying this because it just gives my face this overall luminance. It doesn't look powdery, and it has just this nice sheen to it. And I love that in powders because obviously my skin is dry and I don't need anything picking up the dryness on my face, and this definitely does not. This works really great in combination with my bareMinerals Complexion Rescue. So yeah, if you are the type of person that just likes a very light setting powder that's something that's going to give you a little bit of a glow, definitely check these out. I think they're worth looking into. The last products are by Jouer, and these are their lip creams, and these are the mini versions because I got these in a holiday set that they released at the beginning of the month. I think this set was called Best of Nudes. So it comes with 6 of their best-selling nude neutral shades, and I had never tried any of Jouer's lip creams, but I had heard that they were great, so I thought this was a great deal just to get to try out some of their products. You have 4 just neutral lip creams. I only have 3 right here. I don't know what I did with the other one, but 3 neutral colors right here. Then you have one that is more on the metallic side, and this one is in the shade Papai. This one's very popular, I know, on the website. And then you get a lip topper, which is more of a gloss, and this one's in Skinny Dip, and it's a nice, just gorgeous champagne glittery color. So these sold out very quickly, and I don't know if they're available anymore, but I do want to mention the color I've been wearing the most is called Terra, and this is what it looks like. It's just a really nice deep rose color. I think it's great for the fall time, and overall I've just really been enjoying the Jouer lip cream formula. I've been wearing these all month if I do wear a lip color, and they're really comfortable. I don't feel like they dry out my lips. They stay on nicely. So yeah, I wanted to mention these. If the set is still available, I will try to list it down below, but again, it sold out within the first day it launched. So I don't know if it still is, but it's called Jouer Best of Nudes Holiday Lip Set. Alright guys, so that is it for my November favorites. I'm sorry this video was rambly. I just had to get it off my chest. I had to let you guys know why I was absent for a week, and honestly why my favorites really didn't contain a lot of makeup, but I hope you enjoyed the video anyways. If you have any questions about the products, feel free to leave those down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!